and be seated. So we are back on the record again to take up the matter of State of Idaho v. Stacey Wondra in CR 3825125. Time has come to render a decision in this case, or announce a decision. That's what the court intends to do. Is the state ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defense?
We are.
Before I do, this is an unusual proceeding. Preliminary hearings don't normally consume this amount of time and resources. I appreciate the decorum and the dignity shown by everyone that came and was here for much of the trial. Certainly the professionalism of the marshals in maintaining good order and the preparation and skill of counsel in making the presentation of this case. Mr. Wondra faces in this matter for preliminary hearing today three counts, three alleged violations of law: murder in the first degree, kidnapping in the second degree, and destruction or alteration or concealment of evidence about to be discovered in the investigation of the commission of a felony crime. The question before us is not the question that's asked at the end of a trial. And at a preliminary hearing, there are specific questions being asked, and the evidence must meet or must answer those questions in order for a case to proceed to trial at all. The first of those questions under Criminal Rule 5.1 is whether or not a public offense has been committed. And then thereafter, is there probable or sufficient cause to believe that the defendant committed those offenses? In order to make that finding, a judge must find that the probable cause has been presented, and it must be based on substantial evidence on every material element of the offense charged, or in this case, the offenses charged. The evidence presented in this case supports the conclusion that Michael Vaughan was abducted, he was secreted away, and he was killed in the course of being secreted away. The evidence goes on to show that subsequent to and during those events, evidence of the crimes was destroyed, altered, or concealed. In making findings of probable cause in this case, or in any case, the court relies primarily on the criminal code, the statutes by which a person is alleged to have committed a crime. The court also relies heavily on the jury instructions that the Supreme Court has promulgated for making decisions about any particular charge. A particular utility in this case is Idaho Criminal Jury Instruction 311 and 312. 311 says that the law makes no distinction between a person who directly participates in the acts constituting a crime and a person who either before or during its commission intentionally aids, assists, facilitates, promotes, encourages, counsels, solicits, invites, helps, or hires another to commit a crime with the intent to promote or assist in its commission. Both can be found guilty of the crime. Mere presence at, acquiescence in, or silent consent to the planning or commission of a crime is not, in the absence of a duty to act, sufficient to make one a principal. An accomplice is what it says, but we're talking about principal liability for criminal acts. Idaho Criminal Jury Instruction 312 says that all persons who participate in a crime, either before or during its commission, by intentionally aiding, abetting, advising, hiring, counseling, procuring another to commit the crime with intent to promote or assist in its commission, are guilty of the crime. All such participants are considered principals in the commission of the crime. The participation of each defendant in the crime must be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. And that last piece is just for the jury. And here, that's not the standard, right? The standard is whether or not probable cause has been demonstrated. Here, Mr. Vaughan is charged, or Mr. Wondra, I apologize. Mr. Wondra is charged as a principal, and the court considers the evidence in this case through that lens. When I make any decision, I base that decision on the evidence that's presented. I certainly never make a decision based on hopes or guesses, based on the underlying subject matter of a case, no matter how tragic or innocuous. That is not part of a decision that a court uses, and certainly that I use when reaching some conclusion or decision. This court finds that substantial evidence has been presented as follows: that on or about July 27 of 2021, in Payette County, state of Idaho, Stacey Wondra seized, confined, unveiled, or kidnapped Michael Vaughan with the intent to cause him, without authority of law, to be secretly confined or imprisoned within the state or detained against his will. Or that Stacey Wondra took, enticed away, or detained Michael Vaughan, a child under the age of 16, with the intent to keep or conceal the child from his custodial parents, in violation of Idaho Code 18-4501 and 4503. That in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of the felony crime of kidnapping on or about July 27 of 2021 in the state of Idaho, the defendant engaged in conduct that caused the death of Michael Vaughan, unlawfully killing him without justification and with malice by taking intentional acts, the natural consequence of which were dangerous to human life and deliberately performed with knowledge of the danger and with conscious disregard for human life, constituting murder, and that such murder was committed in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of a kidnapping in violation of Idaho Code 18-4001, 4002, and 4003. That on or between July 27 of 2021 and May 21st of 2025, in Payette County, state of Idaho, Stacey Wondra willfully destroyed, altered, or concealed evidence concerning the kidnapping and murder of Michael Vaughan, including but not limited to biological material, physical evidence, and digital information, knowing that these things were about to be produced, used, or discovered as evidence in a felony investigation, and with the intent to prevent that evidence from being produced, used, or discovered. These findings are made more than anything else on Mr. Wondra's statements to investigators. He described the abduction of Michael Vaughan under circumstances corroborated by other witnesses. He described the binding of Michael Vaughan together with him being secreted away to CUNA and his role in assisting that effort. That too is corroborated by physical circumstances confirmed by the investigators in this matter. He described the manner of death and the subsequent disposal of the body, with some of those details also corroborated by the results of the investigation. Finally, he described his role in destroying and disposing and concealing of many pieces of evidence that were about to be discovered during the investigation that was being conducted. The question before this court is not whether or not Mr. Wondra is guilty of these three charged offenses beyond a reasonable doubt. That is not the purpose of a preliminary hearing. That ultimately will be a question for a jury after a full trial. But I do find that the evidence demonstrates that the public offenses charged have been committed and that there is probable or sufficient cause that the defendant committed them. And so I will bind Mr. Wondra over to district court to answer for the charges of kidnapping in the second degree, murder in the first degree, and destruction or alteration or concealment of evidence. Madam Clerk, I think we have a date for that. All right. So what's proposed is that Judge McCarthy would preside over this case, and we would set an arraignment in front of him. I have half a dozen dates here, the first of which is April 1, 2026 at 3:30.
Judge, the defense cannot do that.
What about April 8th at 2 p.m.?
Sorry, that would be negative.
What about the, and I have some dates in between, I'm just trying to skip ahead, I don't know how tight your calendar is. What about the 14th of April at 10 a.m.? Would the 15th of April at 10 a.m. be better?
It sure would. Thank you.
Does that work for the state?
It works for the state.
All right. Anything further that the state believes should be presented today?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
April 15th, yeah. Anything further that the defense wishes to present today?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll be in recess.
Ms. Price?